Ninth Avenue runs from 14th Street all the way up to 59th Street. The avenue is a composite of many, many different neighborhoods, different lifestyles, different shops, and what have you. We begin our tour on West 14th Street between 8th and Ninth Avenue, heading west to Ninth Avenue. And the one item I would like to point out in the first image that you see is Redden's Funeral Home. I remember that vividly from the early 1980s, inasmuch as Redden's was one of the few, if not the only, funeral home in New York City that would allow AIDS patients to be buried with their help. Continuing our walk, still on 14th Street, we see the church named Our Lady of Guadalupe. And quite honestly, if you have the time and the church is in fact open for visitors, I would highly recommend going inside. It's really quite special, quite beautiful, quite breathtaking to see the interior of the church. We are getting closer to Ninth Avenue. Ahead of us is a billboard on top of a building. That is Apple Computer, located on the northwest corner of Ninth Avenue and 14th Street. If one were to keep walking across Ninth, which we will not be doing, you would go into the meatpacking district. We are going to take a right-hand turn as soon as we get to Ninth Avenue and then start heading north. There's a lot going on in this particular photo. First off, look at the bus stop. You'll notice that the bus stop is 14th Street and Hudson Street. Why Hudson? Well, it turns out Ninth Avenue, as it heads south and crosses 14th Street, its name changes to Hudson Street. If you look across 14th Street, you'll see a sign that says Gansevoort Market. Look up and you'll see a part of a beige building. That building houses Google's offices in New York City. If you were to walk up Ninth Avenue, which we shall in a moment, but diverge just a bit and walk towards 8th at 15th or 16th Street, you'll see this giant complex. That humongous building houses Google's offices in New York City. Incidentally, Google also extends westward across Ninth Avenue, and Google owns quite a few buildings and office space all the way down to and including the pier on the Hudson River. Immediately noticeable in this photo is a brand new boxy looking building, which will be an office building. It's connected to Apple Computer, or I should say it touches Apple Computer's building, which is that beige building with the billboard on top. But of major interest to anybody who happens to walk by there, although you can't see it, at the bottom of this building, which was designed by Raphael Vignoli, there is a giant new Starbucks, one of the world's largest Starbucks ever. The 20,000 square foot coffee hub will be known as the Starbucks Reserve Roastery and Tasting Room, and it will evolve inside that building you're looking at right now. Across the street, there's a picture of a cow and a sign that says Homestead Steaks. The old homestead has been at that location. It used to be a bit larger. It has been at that location forever. And if you want to treat yourself to a really nifty steak dinner, that's the place to go. As we head north on Ninth Avenue, We're now at 15th Street and 9th, and looking at the northwest corner of this intersection, you'll see a sign that says Chelsea Market. Chelsea Market is a huge retail food emporium with everything imaginable inside there. It has become a super major tourist attraction, and people who live in the city go there in droves to buy things. The only way I could possibly describe it is if you can, go in there. It goes all the way from 9th Avenue to 10th Avenue. There's the main floor, which is the one you walk in at street level, and then about one halfway, two-thirds way through that street level path, you'll see a staircase where you can go down to a lower level as well. Restrooms, which everyone needs to find in New York, are located on the lower level of Chelsea Market. To reiterate, it's absolutely worth a trip to go in there and just gawk at everything you can possibly imagine. We are now between 15th and 16th Street, again heading north on 9th Avenue, and this is a much better view of Chelsea Market. And if you look up, you'll see that humongous building, which I described earlier, which is the New York offices of Google. We are now at West 16th Street, and if you look around, you'll see a building with round circular windows. That building once housed the offices of the National Maritime Union, and that is the reason it looks nautical. Over the years, there have been changes of ownership of that particular complex, and it's now an upscale hotel with wonderful dining at different levels, street level, and also you can see perhaps a plaza level. Great place to hang out and a great place to stay if you want a hotel in the Chelsea area. As we approach 17th Street, this is a much better view of the Maritime Hotel. Notice the plaza where people can dine, have coffee or whatever, raised up from ground level. And at the ground there is a famous Pan-Asian restaurant. And one thing I'd like to mention, you'll see a lot of construction as we walk up 9th Avenue, including some of the photos you've already seen. Streets are frequently ripped up at the moment because the city is replacing some extremely old underground water mains and electrical circuits and what have you all over the place. So when it's all patched up and done, which usually takes a year or two, everything should look nice and clean again. So my apology, but this is a reality video, as it were, and the 360 photos you're looking at say everything. What I want to show, and perhaps, if I can laugh at myself, what I would rather not show. Peace. We end our tour of 9th Avenue Part 1 at the intersection of 17th Street and 9th Avenue. We are, at the moment, in the Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan. Chelsea runs from 14th Street to the upper 20s, from 6th Avenue all the way over west to the Hudson River. Thank you for watching Part 1. Bye-bye.